Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader. Today I will be reading The Magic Quartz, a story about bullying by ISIMO Foundation. Before I begin reading, I'd like to give a big thanks to the Foundation for sending me this to read on my channel. The Magic Quartz is an app that you can find in the App Store. It contains the animated full story and includes an interactive game. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Once upon a time, there was a fox, and this fox was a king, but he wasn't a kind king, and he reigned over his subjects. Using fear and mockery, Fox had become king by a means of a strange power. Fox saw what the villagers' fears and weaknesses were, and he used that to turn them into whatever he felt like at the time. He did it to make fun of them and to make them make fun of each other. One morning, Tom and his sister, Clara, were selling balloons in the town. And, as is usual in the kingdom, they spent the day laughing at others. Suddenly, the king's messenger approached them with an announcement. Greetings from the king. The Fox King demands that at tomorrow's ceremony, you must decorate the royal chair with balloons of all colors. But you may only do this when the trumpet stops playing. The next morning at the ceremony, Tom and Clara patiently wait for their cue. The trumpet stops playing and they quickly put the balloons on the royal chair. Oh, but what a surprise! The royal chair takes off up into the air. Clara jumps up and grabs the chair, and then Tom jumps and hangs on to Clara's foot. Tom and Clara fly up into the sky, hanging from the royal chair. When the king sees them, he is annoyed and casts his magic spell. He turns Clara into a balloon and Tom into a toad. The wind blows the chair away from the town, frightening poor Tom and Clara. The storm continued to take them further and further from the kingdom and closer to the mystical forest. Once over the forest, Clara is frightened of the sharp, pointy tips of the trees, and they fall. Tom extends his long, toady tongue and manages to land them safely in the forest. We survived. I can't believe it. And now, what will we do? We must find a way to return to our normal selves. The king is looking for desert flies. Whoever can bring them to him will be granted a wish. It's our chance. Let's find them. And we can ask him to put us back to our normal selves, says Tom. Tom and Clara go off in search of desert flies so they can become their normal selves again and not be teased. After walking for a long time, they start to run out of energy, and Tom doesn't think he can make it to the desert. Tom walks distractedly and does not realize the danger that awaits him. Luckily, he puts out a hand and manages to hold on to Clara. They take flight again, thanks to Tom's long, toady tongue. Suddenly, they are pulled into a tornado and are tossed about in the air. They try to break free. Are you coming to make fun of me? I won't allow it. No, We're headed to the desert. We want to find desert flies for the king. That way, he will grant us a wish, and we will ask to be made back into children again. The king turned me into a tornado just because I used to like playing at spinning around. Now everyone fears me, and so I must live out here alone. We can help you. We'll ask him to change you back too. Thank you. If you would like me to, I can give you a ride to the desert. We did it. Now we just have to find the flies. Thanks to their new friend, Tom and Clara arrived in the desert. They searched and searched everywhere without finding the whereabouts of desert flies. After hours of searching, they decide to rest. Look, Tom, a fly. As there was only one fly, all that remained to do was follow it. That way, he would lead them to the other flies. The flies are hidden here. I can smell it. Wait, I have an idea. Wow, look, a door. Let's go inside. Wow, what a strange place. What do you think it is? I think it's a science lab. Tom and Clara go into what appears to be a science lab, hoping to find the flies. Tom, do you know if the flies use coats? Only the scientific flies. Tom and Clara wake up to find themselves tied up and stunned from the bump to their heads. They expect the worst. We aren't flies, we are scientists. The king turned us from scientists into flies so he could keep the secret of his power hidden. We'll tell you where his power comes from. Marcus was the painter of the kingdom. Everyone appreciated his work and celebrated his creations. One day, the king asked Marcus to paint a mural that included all the inhabitants of the kingdom. When Marcus finished the mural, he showed it to all the village, but some of the villagers began to mock him and throw tomatoes at him because they did not like how they appeared in the mural. The king expelled Marcus from the kingdom because the was not a success. Marcus walked for hours until he fell asleep. When he had run out of all hope, a scientist appeared by the name of Rigger. Rigger took care of him and gave him a job as an assistant in his laboratory. One day, whilst Marcus was cleaning the laboratory, a piece of paper caught his attention. It said, "The power of magic quartz, how to transform things at will." Time passed and Rigger continued with his investigation into the magic quartz. Whilst doing an experiment, he disappeared into a puff of smoke. Marcus was sad that Rigger had disappeared, so he began to put up posters throughout the kingdom. When the villagers saw Marcus, they mocked him again. Marcus felt fear and anger that they made fun of him again, and he wanted revenge. He remembered the paper in the laboratory about the magic quartz. He followed the magic spell, and this turned him into a fox. Marcus put the magic quartz at the tip of his pencil and returned to the kingdom to turn everyone into monsters so he could make fun of them. Marcus became the king. We need your help to recover the magic quartz and free everyone from the quartz spell. Oh, what a sad story. What can we do to help? Early tomorrow, the king will be at the plaza. It will be our opportunity. So, what is the plan? We do not know. We are very small, but thanks to this magnifying glass that we invented, we can appear bigger. I've come up with a plan. We're going to need costumes and a magnifying glass like this one. Tom, Clara, and the scientists go to the town to carry out the plan. Those aren't the flies. It's an empty jar that says flies. Greetings, King. I have brought you the desert flies. We have come for the king. Give us the pencil and we will let you go. Everyone in the kingdom panicked when they saw the giant flies through the magnifying glass. Tom was getting closer and closer to the pencil and was just about to take it when the lens falls to the ground. The light from Clara's flashlight had burnt through the rope that was holding the lens up. You, Toadman, you brought the flies in that strange container. Come here. I'll grant you a wish for bringing the flies. But I must tell you that this wish can only benefit you. Before, I just wanted to go back to being my old self. But today, I know that we all deserve to be as we were before, so that no one makes fun of each other's weaknesses or differences. So instead of wishing that I be as I was before, I wish to apologize for all the times I have laughed at everyone. I now see the pain it causes. The teasing has all of us living in fear. Fear of losing power. Fear of not being normal again. Fear of being friends instead of enemies. Encouraged by Tom's words, everyone in the town began to apologize. The spell began to dissolve as everyone in the kingdom lost their fear, and they were all able to live peacefully again. Marcus made a mural in which he painted everyone happily. The villagers celebrated the end of teasing and fear in the kingdom. The end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this app for the full animated story, which includes an interactive game to help the characters in the story.